Hello, this is James Dooley here from James Dooley Hypnotherapy. And today's blog is all about, can adversity be good for us? Now, that might sound a bit of a contradictory thing. People going through adversity in their life, it can be really quite challenging and very difficult. It can cause a lot of pain, it can bring out anxiety, it can bring out stress. It can be a situation that's really quite unbearable. Um, but on reflection, adversity at times can be good for us. There's a term that's used for adversity. It can make us or it can break us. And pretty much that sums it up to the T. And I think the only reason why it can break us is due to the fact that people have got no levels of self-awareness. They've got no understanding of their inner workings. Their mind can help them to move forward and create positive change in their life. Now, adversity can obviously come in many guises and many forms. And it's down to the individual to respond in the right way. Even though it can be very painful, it's always good to be philosophical and stepping back from the darkness that's surrounding that individual who are going through the adversity and say things like, okay, well, it's not to my liking at the moment, but over time, things can change and things can get better. But they can only get better if the mindset is right, if a person truly, truly, truly believes that they can create positive change in their life. Now, sometimes, just one example that comes to mind would be someone could be working for a company for a lot of years, and that company makes that person redundant. That person could then be, I don't know, in their mid-50s, say, and that person will then find it difficult to get work because of their age, and you're sort of thrown on the scrap heap. But once you get past 50, not for everyone, but for some people, they might get thrown on the scrap heap, and it's just a case of then that person would have to either do nothing or do something that's going to be proactive, and proactive would suggest to me meaning starting up a business. Now, for someone who maybe has been in a company for so long, for so many years, that can be incredibly challenging because that person would then have to step out of their comfort zone and move forward in the right direction. And as we know, as I've discussed in many of my blogs before, the mind will do everything it can to pull that person back with, words in your mind, voices in your mind saying, what are you doing that for? You can't do that. You're overstepping the mark here. What are you doing that for? You're wasting your time. And then you have people who will be around you as well who will reinforce, they will add fuel to the fire by coming out with comments going, oh, well, you're in trouble now, aren't you? You're going to struggle, you are, aren't you? And all that sort of thing. Because you obviously get people who get pleasure out of these sort of things, unfortunately. But then you'll get obviously people around you as well will be quite encouraging and quite reassuring to say, keep your chin up and move forward. But yeah, ultimately it's these challenges are there and they will always be there because that is life. It's there to consistently make you learn and grow as a person. And adversity is a massive, massive challenge for everyone. But it's also a massive learning opportunity at the same time too. It's looking at it in the right philosophical context. Now, there are people out there who, just examples that come to mind. People like Tyson Fury, the world heavyweight boxing champion. He won the title in 2015, and then he basically Tyson Fury's got mental health problems, and he became he started eating a lot, drinking a lot, taking drugs, and he completely lost it. He had to lost his world title belts, and everything just completely went downhill for the man. But then something somewhere down the line made him turn it all around. And he got back on his feet again and he started training again and he moved forward and he moved forward. And eventually he went on to have 2 fights with Deontay Wilder, winning the second fight and becoming the world champion of the world again. And he was a classic example of when things go wrong that you can turn it all around. And you've got people like Stephen Hawking, who sadly is no longer with us anymore. And he was diagnosed with motor neuron disease. And he was facing 2 years to live. And he went on to live a further 50 years. And during those years, he was filled with positivity and he wouldn't give in. He was facing the most extreme situation of what he was facing and he still wouldn't give in. He still carried on doing what he was doing. He was still a physicist, and he was still engaging with stuff that kept him afloat and kept him moving forward as a person. And they're just two examples. I mean, you've got people who are everyday people who have been through the most traumatic situations, and they still stand tall and they still move forward. But there are key things that you can take on board to help you move forward when you're facing adversity. I mean, one of them is having a sense of humour. I mean, you probably think, well, what do you need a sense of humour for when you're facing adversity? But humour is a thing that keeps us afloat. You've got to try and find a sense of humour in everything, really. You know, it can sound a ridiculous thing to say, but it certainly helps keep anyone psychologically afloat. Another one would be mentally prepared for what you're facing as well. When I say being mentally prepared, it's a case of, you're not going to cave in. It's just analysing the situation and saying, okay, I'm in adversity now. What do I need to do next? That's, the way forward for someone who's facing that. And also taking stock on what you've been through as well. I mean, it's you've got to step back and say, like, what I've been through has challenged me, but I've pulled through. There's obviously maybe other periods in a person's life where they've had other forms of things happening in their life that haven't been to their liking, but they've pulled through. And that's another thing that can reinforce a person's character to say, well, yes, I'm doing this perfectly fine. I mean, it offers valuable insights as well. Adversity offers valuable insights, saying things like, well, actually, here I am I responding in the right way? Am I doing the right things? Am I being too harsh on myself? Do I need to be more calmer, more focused, more relaxed, and, having the right mindset? Also, I mean, there's things you've got to find peace in the situation as well. You definitely need to find peace in the situation, because if you're going to be stressed out and anxious and angry and bitter and resentful and all those other negative emotions that can be carried around with you through adversity, it then makes that adversity obviously a lot worse. Then there's also other things like you refusing to give up. I mean, you really must refuse to give up, because although you have all those voices in your mind saying, oh, it's horrible, things are going terrible and I can't cope, and the mind will do everything it can, like I said before, and you're just going to say, well, I'm not listening to these voices. I'm going to just carry on moving forward. Even though things look pretty grim at the moment, I'm going to carry on keeping a good momentum up in my mind. When things eventually pick up, I'll move forward and I'll achieve my objectives. It's as simple as that. It's all about mindset. It really is. And you've got to have a purpose each day as well. If you've got no purpose each day, then things can fizzle out pretty quickly, because you think, well, what have I got to focus on? I haven't got a life, blah, blah, blah. But it's vital to have a purpose each day. You must have a purpose. And that can only come from the person who's going through that situation. What do I need to do to create a purpose? There's also things like keeping a positive mindset as well. I mean, these are all pretty obvious. Some of them are pretty obvious things. Keeping a positive mindset is incredibly vital, as we know, because without a positive mindset, it then drifts off into negativity, and negativity will just focus on, oh, it's terrible, it's crap, and then just adding more fuel to the fire and making things even worse than what they are. With a positive mindset, you can say to yourself, well, yeah, okay, things are pretty bad at the moment. I'm really not enjoying this, but there is a way forward, and I've just got to keep moving forward and really look at the situation and say that I can do this, I can overcome this. Now, there's no blueprint to say this is the correct way to move forward. It's down to the individual to find that way forward. But as I've said before in other blogs, mindset is everything. Mindset is the key to the door. Without the correct mindset, there cannot be anything that's going to be positive, that's going to help you become more focused and more on an even keel, keeping you balanced while you're going through the difficult situation. I mean, personally, for me, myself, with all the adversity I had to face, fitness was a massive help for me, because obviously you get the endorphin rush from running and doing various other cardiovascular exercise. That's been a massive help for me. And another one for me was doing meditation. I still meditate every day, and it's a very good thing to calm your mind down, to keep you focused, to keep you clear, to help you think in a straight way rather than a muddled way, because that's what happens when you get all stressed out and anxious when you're going through adversity. It can be very difficult. So meditation is another great thing. So anyway, I just hope that you all enjoyed this video blog that I've presented today. Adversity is not an easy thing to go through, but with time and effort and the right mindset, adversity can be beat and it can be overcome. Now, here at James Dooley Hypnotherapy, I can offer a person a great hypnotherapy practice to help them come through this situation and get them to move forward and have the right mindset during those difficult times. Because it's all about mindset. Obviously, I can't change the situation that a person's in, but I can help them change the way they react during that situation. So anyway, I'm glad that I've presented this video blog today, and I hope that you've enjoyed it, and I hope you've got some sort of insight and some upliftment. And if you want to get in contact with me, contact me at www.jamesdooleyhypnotherapy.com, and I'll get back to you, and perhaps we can discuss some hypnotherapy packages and move you forward and getting in the right direction in your mindset. Anyway, take care, and I'll speak soon. Take care. All the best. Bye.